Hi, I'm Ian Wolter. I'm an artist and sculptor, and we're here at the unveiling of my latest project, which is a bust of Eglantyne Jebb. Well, many years ago, I competed in a round-the-world yacht race called the BT Global Challenge on a yacht called Save the Children. So for 10 months, every item of clothing I had Save the Children written on. So that led me to visit some of the Save the Children projects. So I visited one in South Africa, one in America, and I was very moved by the work that they do. So I then volunteered when I got back to the UK. And that's how I met my wife. She was in corporate fundraising for Save the Children. So Claire wrote the biography of Eglantyne Jebb, and it has been republished now to mark the 100th anniversary of Save the Children. So yes, I felt when I was commissioned to make this bust, I felt Eglantyne Jebb was an old friend. She'd been a member of our family for a decade or more. My oldest daughter has Eglantyne as her middle name. Eglantyne Jebb was Edwardian, this was before selfies. So there weren't very many photographs of her, and I think if you just worked from a handful of photographs, you'd end up with a very sort of flat portrait. I don't mean 2D, but I mean lifeless. And so I decided I wanted to work from life. I'm a live model. So as you say, I went to the local paper. They thought it was great. Did a great half-page appeal for models, basically saying, look, do you look like these photographs? And if so, do you want to model for this sculptor? I got 9 responses, 2 of which looked really very like her, although not entirely like each other, different facets of her. Some of them didn't look anything like her. One of them had a beard and was male. So yes, then I did a portrait of my 2 models, which takes kind of 12, 15 hours each. Then I chose which of them I wanted to continue with, and then I converted that one into Eglantyne Jebb using the photographs. And I hope that doing that method, you get a real, as vitality.
Yeah, and at least you can go to the local newspaper if you need any more.
Yes. Going all the way back to school, I was good at art. I was good at drawing and painting, and I think if you get that kind of, people constantly tell you you're good at something, you enjoy it more, you do it more, so you get better at it. In my late teens, early 20s, when most people go off to art school, I didn't. I decided I would work and make some money, so I wouldn't be a penniless artist living in a garret somewhere. And that led me to start my own business, and then over the years I had several businesses. Turned out I was quite an entrepreneur. And then I got into my 40s and I suddenly thought, if I don't go to art school now, when am I going to?
When's the right time?
Yeah. And I never intended. I thought I'd go in my late 20s. In the end, it was mid-40s. And I went for an interview at the Cambridge School of Art, Anglia Ruskin University, with Bennett Spencer. And one of the questions I asked him is, will I be the only mature student on this course? And he said, no, about 20% of the intake each year, and I know it fluctuates, but about 20% each year are mature. So I started, and the next nearest in age to me was 24. So I didn't really feel I had much of a group to sit about. But all of those people who were predominantly 18 or 19 turned out to be the best cohort, just fantastic, and many of them I'm still very close friends with, and I graduated 3 years ago. Yeah, so I had a wonderful, wonderful time. When I turned up on my first day at Anglia Ruskin, I brought with me a bag of oil paints and brushes, canvas under my arm. So I thought I was a painter. Turns out I'm not a painter. And I'm much more a conceptual artist, and I have made art using human voice, using an oil drum full of Vaseline. I've made art with all sorts of different things, and I can't really settle to any one medium. For me, the choice of medium it is dictated by what it is I'm trying to communicate. I think some people, just are political in nature, and so when I ran businesses, I always had a campaigning edge to what I was doing. So I think, although I didn't predict it, I think it was inevitable that I would end up making political art. And why do I think art is a good way to do politics? I think it's a really interesting question, because art works differently to a campaigning placard or a political poster or a political cartoon. It's in a different sphere entirely.
And I think it opens up to more people as well.
It does, but in a different way. So does it change minds? I'm not sure. Yeah. When people go into art galleries and look at political art, I think most of the time it's confirming their pre-existing view.
Yeah.
So it actually makes them feel good because they agree with the art. Do you see what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm not sure how much art changes minds. When political art works really well, though, is when it makes you realise something, some facets, some nuance that you just hadn't thought of, because it communicates on a different level in a different way. Well, after unveiling this bust in about half an hour, I've got two artworks in shows at the moment in Venice, so I'm off to Venice very soon. And then I'm working on, I've recently made a piece called The Children of Calais, about children caught up in the present refugee crisis. And so I'm now working on another piece in what I think will be a sort of body of work around migration, displacement, refugees. So yes, I'm quite well involved in developing the next piece. And as is often the case with my practice, as you said, hard to know what the medium will be until it appears. I can tell you this one involves 500 bunches of keys.